I bet you've never seen an Xbox like this. This is a custom-made, one-of-a-kind portable Xbox gaming laptop, and it is one of the craziest consoles I have ever purchased. And in this video, we are going to unbox it, share my first impressions, and see if it is worth it or a complete failure and waste of money. So I was just shopping on eBay the other day, and I came across this absolutely mad Xbox. This guy had modified an original Xbox One, I think it was, into a custom laptop case. No idea why. But we got it for an absolute bargain. It literally cost me £250, £60, which is around $300, which when you consider the price of an Xbox One and then everything this guy's done to it, mate, it was a bargain. It's these stupid things. This is going to make a huge mess. I hate this. We've got no choice other than just whack it out. Oh, no. I'm going to have to clean this up. Oh, it's so heavy, oh my word. Oh. No. Right, so this main box here, I think's got the actual console in. Included so far has a controller. We've got a carbon black controller. Looks relatively new, not badly used. And then inside of this is a huge power supply. It's more of that packaging, mate. Are you joking me? Right, let's tip it out. Oh, we've got some instructions. This is serious. Right, so go to the power on and off button. Oh, he's made a manual and everything. Wow. The packaging's incredible. It's really gone to town on the foam. Oh, here it is. That's bloody hell, that's heavy. I wouldn't like to transport this. It's meant to be portable. It's solid steel. That's a full-on laptop. No way, this guy's so talented that's built this thing. Look at that hinge. It opens up. Full-on console here. The console's built into this. It's not that thick. And then you turn it on and stuff. You've got USB ports and everything. That screen's a decent size. Look at that screen. That's very usable. Heavy though. It is quite weighty. Man, that's the equivalent of maybe 3 gaming laptops, I would say, weight-wise. Great build though. Look, it's even got curved edges. Oh, it's got a disk drive. No way. Disk drive and everything on the front. Let's get it booted up. With our monstrous power supply. Look at that thing. That is a big power brick. So this crazy connector, that's an insane connector, locks into place on the back of the console, right? So on the back of here, oh, it's heavy. The back of here, this huge power supply basically clicks into place and screws in. Power button on and off. Oh, that is just a logo. This is it here. Oh, it works! No way, it has speakers as well. No way, that's mad. Right, so I'm having a little bit of a problem when I'm trying to get this thing set up, and it's regarding the network issues. So as you can see, the display looks pretty great. I'm really happy with how it's operating. But when we try and connect to the network, it appears to be stuck on this Huawei thing, whatever this guy's router is back at his house. It doesn't seem to be disconnecting from it. So whenever I go ahead and click set up wireless network, it doesn't detect my actual router. It just adds wireless network, and then it expects me to add some ridiculous thing. Whereas what should happen is you connect to a network and it finds your normal router. So I don't know if there's some wireless dongle plugged into this console to try and make it work and increase the boost connection or something, but whatever's happening, it isn't working. So I'm trying to see if there's maybe any ports on the back. There doesn't seem to be any ports anywhere either for an Ethernet. So what I'm gonna try is, this is a fix that I often do on my normal Xbox, is resetting the MAC address. So go down to alternative MAC address, just click clear, see if that does anything and whether that resets the console. It might help. I do this all of the time when I'm having network issues on EA games in particular, F1 and stuff like that, when me and my mates can't join each other, and Microsoft Flight Simulator is another one that often occurs. We reset our MAC addresses, and that sometimes fixes things.
A few moments later.
Right, so I managed to figure out what the issue was with the Wi-Fi. So, in a nutshell, because this Xbox is in a huge metal case, that was blocking the range of the internet on here. So, it couldn't be detected in the other studio room, so I had to come into the music studio where the internet router is, so it's as close as possible. I maybe think that was a little bit of an oversight when this guy made the laptop, that the huge thick metal might cause some interference, but it's not a huge deal breaker. It's just obviously something to be aware of. So if we take a look at the instructions that were provided, which is super duper useful, we can see what all of the individual buttons do, which are obviously located at the front of the console panel. And conveniently, it's number 1, so nice and easy. That's not a good start. Yeah, that would help if we turn the power plug on. While this goes ahead and loads up, let's take a look at what some of the other buttons actually do. So we've obviously got all of these other buttons here. So we've got different things that control the actual volume level of the built-in speakers of the monitor, which is quite convenient. So that's all illustrated there. We've obviously got a menu button too, so we can actually control different settings on the monitor, which could be quite useful because obviously this is a 1080p 60 hertz panel, but if it's too bright, we can adjust those with these buttons. We can, oh, it's so slick. Look at that. We can adjust the buttons with these buttons right here. Just change the volume of the built-in speakers. I quite like that feature actually. Save you having to take a remote about. This portable PC also has a USB port on the front of the case, which is super duper useful because it means you can charge your controller if you've got a Series Elite 2 Pro controller. That way you don't need to take any batteries. Or of course you could use this for plugging in external hard drives for your game library, or using a wired controller if you want to go hardcore when you're gaming on the go. Now, while we're on the topic of connecting controllers to your Xbox, there is still a sync button on the front panel too. So you've got both an eject button and also a sync button, so you can still use a disk drive because it's very convenient. This is an Xbox One S that's inside of this metal housing. So we still have a workable disk drive so you can play physical games or even watch movies and DVDs, because obviously there's a 4K Blu-ray player inside of the Xbox One S. And then these front buttons here control your eject button and also your sync button. So if your controller gets disconnected, you can connect it up just like you would on a standard Xbox console. And obviously as well, you can connect additional game pads for multiplayer with your friends if you were to take this to school, which would be pretty sick. Imagine if you took this to school in your backpack, whacked it out at dinner time for some FIFA or a bit of Forza or something like that. Absolutely epic. Right, so we've finally gone through the updating process on our Xbox laptop. It took a while because obviously the Xbox One S has got a hard drive inside of it, not a NVMe SSD drive like the newer consoles. So it took an obscene amount of time to install. I also, it has me thinking whether we upgrade it to an SSD, because you can obviously upgrade the hard drive to an SSD drive on an older Xbox console, which I've talked about in the past here on the channel. You can check out this video right here if you want to learn about that entire process. But let's go ahead and jump into a game of GTA 5, obviously with GTA 6 rumored to be announced in just a few weeks' time. While this game loads in, I must give credit to the person that I purchased this off of eBay for. They've done an immaculate job when it comes to the craftsmanship for actually building this entire thing out of metal. It's all completely custom. They've even gone to the effort of adding various different fan grills areas so the console doesn't overheat, which is super important in order for it to work for a long period of time. And the attention to detail is very obvious, such as the inclusion of those USB ports on the front, the disk drive still working, operating, because obviously not everybody wants to play all digital games. That's a huge complaint of the Xbox Series S, is the lack of a disk drive. So that's great that this obviously still has it. One thing that I find funny is when you go back to a GTA save, when you haven't played it, the last time I'll have played single player GTA, I was 15 years old, 2015 that will have been. It's so funny going back to just sort of see what random stuff you were doing. So what car we got in the garage? Let's have a little look here. Oh, what the? Oh, that's not meant to happen, is it? That's a bit of a glitch. I don't think that is meant to be. Let's try and get in it. This is clearly one of my masterpieces that I've taken. What happened to the red car? Does the Xbox One version of this have like no render distance or something like that? What happened to that red car we were just in? Graphically, it still looks exceptional. So obviously this is running at 1080p on a 1080p panel, but man, GTA 5 still looks good, and this isn't the next generation upgraded version. This is obviously the old gen version. So the final thing that I want to do with this Xbox is actually disassemble it and take a look inside to see what the guy's done to actually fit it into such a small encasement. Now I'm going to be using my little iFixit toolkit. I picked this up on Amazon. Super useful because it has all of the different attachments. So it's great for building gaming PCs or whatever, but for modding consoles and taking any form of tech apart, works super duper well. So thankfully we've got an attachment so I can actually take this thing apart, because these aren't standard Phillips head screwdrivers. So I think it'll be pretty easy to open up. We just literally got to take this top cover off, these like 10 or 12 screws that we've got here. And then we should be in and we can just take a look at it from there and not have to do anything too extensive. We'll use some of these other tools that we've got here to lever this up. Maybe try this little tool here. See if we can crank up the side. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Oh, that was easy enough. Oh, wow. Holy moly. So it would appear that inside of here, there is multiple motherboards. So the guy's obviously got the Xbox motherboard here, and then he's put the front panel where the turning on and off buttons for the Xbox, he's put them on a special bracket underneath. This is incredibly custom what he's got in here. Then he's made some custom length cables to obviously reroute all of the different HDMI stuff to different areas of the motherboard and the Xbox part as well. Wow, this is insane, insanely good. I'm blown away. Is there any way that we could disconnect So we've got a fan on the top of here and a fan on the top of there as well. Let's see if we can disconnect that. Perfect. Right, that'll peel away so you can see the whole thing now perfectly. Oh, that works great. The guys thought it all through. It looks as well like we have a custom fan here. These are like third-party fans that he's added onto this segment of the motherboard. I don't recognize that from an actual Xbox One. But as we can see here, this is it. So we've got the disc tray, got the motherboard of the actual Xbox One. Then we've got, like I said, that little power motherboard that usually is on the front of the console where all your interface buttons are. Then this is the back segment of obviously the monitor. So here we have all of the connection ports for the monitor that's here. So he's also clearly taken a monitor apart, put it into this case, and then also placed the motherboard here, which is insane. So then this is where all of the cabling is plugged in, and that's going into the motherboard here with, like I said, these custom length cables. There's clearly some other custom stuff going on here with how he's routed various stuff directly into the motherboard, which is unreal. Now, obviously, if we wanted to, we could unplug some of these areas and upgrade this hard drive for an SSD drive. That's quite a simple upgrade. That would dramatically improve the overall performance and experience of this portable gaming laptop. You just get into the games much quicker. You could even increase the overall available space on the console to 2 terabytes, 4 terabytes, whatever you want. But obviously the major improvement is the load times for getting into games and also doing updates and initializing various things on the operating system. It's a very easy thing to do, upgrading the SSD that we've talked about in the past on the channel.
Obviously, this Xbox is very unique, but if you want to see me unbox some of the craziest and coolest Xboxes ever made, you should check out this video next, and also subscribe to the channel for more limited edition consoles just like this.